Hello guys, hope you're all doing well. We've got another exercise video for you today. So today we're looking at the program entitled Adapted Home Program. So this could be for those with this program at home, but like I said, it's not limited to just those. This could be for any of you guys watching these videos. If you're not sure what to do on a certain day, then feel free to follow these exercise videos. They're not really for anyone specifically, they're for any of you guys if you think you're capable of doing it. So, like with the previous program, it's going to take 30 to 40 minutes to carry this out. We want to do it about roughly 2 to 3 times a week with a day's rest in between. So we do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then on those days in between, if you can still do some sort of light activity, whether it's in gardening, depending on the weather, or whether it's just going on like a little walk around the house, or anything just to keep ourselves moving, as we don't want to do completely different on those rest days. So with these exercises, we'll be doing 10 repetitions on the majority. Some of them might be a little bit different. Once you've done that, you then have a rest and you repeat the exercises 3 to 4 times. So you do each exercise 3 to 4 times first, then you move on to the next exercise, okay? Before we start the program, we want to make sure you're doing a proper warm-up. So in the program here, it does say 5 to 10 minutes. But it's a bit of a cycle. We'd rather it be 10 to 15 minutes to make sure we're properly preparing ourselves for exercise, getting the heart working a little bit, make sure we're properly stretched so we're not going to get any injuries or anything like that. So all of these warm-up exercises, they can be done either sitting down in a chair or standing. I'll do most of them standing. And yeah, I'll just get us ready to exercise, so I'll quickly run through them first. So first we've got upper body twists. So have your arms across your chest, on your shoulders, we can down by your side, whatever's up to you, and then we just twist it to the side, both ways, make sure we're bringing this heel off as we pivot, to make sure we get the full range of motion. Okay, so then doing each of the exercises for 20 to 30 seconds, then move on to the next one, and you aim to do 2 to 3 rounds, hopefully last roughly about 10 to 15 minutes. So next, we've got a chest and bicep stretch. So if you're doing this standing up, you want to keep your feet moving, just keep your feet moving at the same time, and we're stretching this chest area. We have arms out in front, and we're just opening out, nice, slow and controlled, feeling the stretch across your chest. You want to change it up a little bit, you can change the angle, so you're just coming across your body, changing it each time. Again, go for 20 to 30 seconds, just feeling a nice stretch. So the next, we've got seated or knee raising. We've got seated knee raising, so you can do this sitting down, you can do it standing, I'm going to do it standing. So you just, just bringing the knees up, nothing too fast, nothing too high pace, just nice and controlled, just getting the hips moving a little bit. You can move the arms if you want, you can stood by your side, and hold on to a kitchen counter or a chair or anything if you want to help you balance, just like so. Go for 20 to 30 seconds again. Okay, so next we've got your shoulder shrugs. So you can do this sitting again, or you can do it standing. If you're standing, just keep your feet moving. Just bringing the shoulders up to the ears and back down. If you want, you can roll the shoulders backwards and roll them forwards, just to get the shoulders nice and loose like. And then finally, we've got the front and side raises. So again, if you're standing, keep your feet moving. So the front raiser is coming out in front. You come up to shoulder or eye level. You can come up a little bit higher if you feel flexible. And if you go all the way up to the top, try and do that if you can. And then with the side raise, you're just going out to the side, coming up to shoulder level, just hitting all the different aspects of that shoulder muscle. Okay, so once you've done that, hopefully that's lasted about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, a way of measuring sort of how hard you're working, we've got the RPE scale, which is in the back of your books. So hopefully for that warm-up, you would have found it sort of very light, sort of maximum light, as it's quite light. It's not meant to be too strenuous, it's just getting you ready for exercise. But this now, the exercise component, we want it more to be between this sort of 12 to 14 range, so sort of somewhat hard. You want to feel yourself getting a bit of a sweat on, your body temperature's increasing a little bit, your breathing's getting a little bit heavy, but it's not too heavy. And obviously, if it is starting to get too heavy, then that could be a sign you're exercising too hard, so you could be down at this sort of 15 to 16 level, and if you are, then that's the situation where you want to take a step back, maybe slow down, do less reps, or just you don't want to be working yourself too hard, okay? So now onto the actual exercise component. So the alarm routine 2. So it's this one in your booklets. So first we're going to be doing a shoulder press. You can do this either sitting down or standing. I'm going to do it standing. So if you're fairly new to exercise, you can just do it sort of free weight without any sort of weight. If you do have any sort of bottles of water, any sort of cans of beans, anything like that. What I'd say is keep your feet moving as well, and you just bring in your sort of arms across shoulder level, and you're just going all the way up, or whatever sort of range of motion you've got, slowly on the way down, and then back up, going for 10 repetitions, okay? And then once you've done that 10 repetitions, you then rest them for 1 to 2 minutes, and you go again doing them 10 repetitions again. So then, next we've got is working on the lower body a little bit. Is a sit to stand and a walk for 4 meters. So we're going to have 2 sort of chairs, whether you've got chairs or if it's just a sofa, as long as they're sort of, it doesn't have to be exactly 4 meters, but as long as they're sort of like some sort of distance in between. So you're going to start off, you have your arms on your shoulders, down both sides, whether it's comfortable for you. All you do is you're just sitting down into the chair, so you're going to sit to stand, standing up, and then walk across to the other chair. And then do another sit to stand, back up. Now with this exercise, what you can do is once you've walked across to the chair, depending on your sort of capability and whether you've done this sort of movement before, you can either sit down for a rest for 1 minute or 2, but if you feel, so once again going to the RPE scale, if you're finding that exercise sort of, it's whether below somewhat hard to lie, then I'd say continuously walk between the chairs, but if you are finding that just sort of one walk in between the chairs, sort of that somewhat hard to hard, then get that rest in between and just repeat the movement 5 times. It says it very well. So then, back to exercise 3. So work on this lower body muscles again. We've got leg extension and hold. So you want a chair of some sorts again. Sitting just sort of on the front part of the chair. 90-degree angle at the knee. And all you're doing is one leg at a time. You're just bringing it up till it's as straight as possible. Holding for a couple of seconds. Bringing it back down. And we alternate legs with this. So you go right leg first, and onto the left leg. Keep it as straight as possible, hold it for a couple of seconds, just like so. You're doing that 10 times on each leg, get your rested, and then also repeating that movement 3 times all together. Okay, so next one, we're working on the glute muscles and the buttocks. We've got a gluteal squeeze. So you can do this sitting down or standing again. We're going to do standing. So it's not the best exercise to demonstrate, but all you're doing is nice and tall. And then what you're essentially trying to do is trying to squeeze your butt muscles together until they're nice and firm. Hold for a couple of seconds, and then relax them. And you're doing that 5 times altogether, holding the squeeze for about 4 to 5 seconds. You'll feel it sort of working down the side of my legs, down the back of your legs, just like so. And then finally, we've got calf raises. So with this, you can do it freehand, or you can do it, you've got a chair or kitchen countertop. Just to sort of hold on, whether it's just with 1 hand or with 2 hands, depending on your balance. And all you're doing is just slowly pulling up onto your heel, onto your toes, bringing your heels off the ground, holding for a couple of seconds, coming slowly back down, and then back up, repeating that 10 times, only rest in between, and 2 to 3 sets of that. Pain your foot working down the back of your calf. So, way for the rest of these exercises. So if you find sort of the 10 repetitions a little bit too easy, so like we said on the RPE scale, if you're trying to just going towards that sort of 11 light range, then you can increase the reps to either 12 or 15, or if you're doing 30 seconds on each exercise, you can up to increase it to 45 seconds, up to a minute, depending on sort of what exercise. Obviously, not all exercises can be done for that long, so it depends on which ones you're doing. And then yeah, so you can also listen to them, use weight objects, you've got bottles of water, cans of beans, like the calf raises, with the shoulder press, all stuff like that. So once you've done that, as it's important to the warm-up, we're going to make sure you're also doing a cool down. So this can last 5 to 10 minutes. So we've got the sort of exercise that we've done in the warm-up. You can repeat them again, but make sure we're doing it at a slower pace, because we want to bring the heart rate back down and bring the body back to its sort of normal, close to resting state, whether it's just to walk around the house nice and casual, nice and slow, out in the garden, just keep the body moving a little bit, just bring the heart rate down, and yeah, so hopefully that's provided you with a little useful help and some tips on how to do routine 2 of the Adapted Home Programme. Hope you enjoyed.